or
queen e3.
But still, white probably goes knight c1. Yeah.
Yeah, after queen e3, I think at least we can play queen c8 check, king h7, for example.
Which
then
one? Like
there.
a check from c2.
But it's not so safe, I mean.
Oh wait,
because like
king goes and what, g3 or?
Yeah, g3.
g3.
Maybe.
But still, it's tricky, right?
Despite
yes, like
yeah.
Clear extra piece, but two factors, like the king is somewhat weak, plus this annoying pawn on a3. So you always have to watch out. Knight b3, queen e3.
Yes,
that's on the board.
So probably Levon didn't like the position after queen b2, knight c1, as we saw that this is probably harder to defend for black, right? Because white having a clear plan. So that's why queen e3 was played.
Queen e3. So once again, chances. Okay, that's I know that's a silly evaluation. That's not the evaluation which is expected from the expert, but it's really, from human perspective, it's not that easy to see, right? Okay, you still have the option of going knight c1 and stopping the pawn while it is still on a3, right?
Maybe there's something like this.
Queen a4.
I know Jan played knight c1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what if this?
What about queen a4 really? But are you
queen
threatening
e7?
to
No.
take?
I think I do.
And then a check.
I'm not quite sure, but I think I do.
Where the king is running. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I mean,
okay, I just go... What do I do? h5, king h7, something.
h5 is... Maybe after h5 I'll consider other opportunities.
So, okay, let me play queen f2, so that I'm sort of threatening a2.
Yeah, okay, I have
so
to
queen takes, queen f4, queen e3, and back to f4, let's say.
Maybe there is something like, yeah.
Back to f4. So there is no straightforward perpetual, but I just give a check from e4. And then in order to run away, you will have to give the g2 pawn.
Yeah, probably.
And then it's like,
you're right.
I'm not sure if it's possible to win at all. Like king d1, and
yeah,
I might even annoy you with more checks.
One pawn is not...
Yeah, 2 versus 1 will be very, very tough to win.
Okay, so Jan is played...
he has played knight c1, as we were
queen
saying. Yeah, queen e3, knight c1. And h5 is on the board.
So the idea is to play h4.
To play h4 and then just to come up with this perpetual. The question is if you can do anything.
Yeah, because
strangely enough,
if white play h4, there is something like queen e1, right, or queen f2.
Yeah. Anyway, it's like one more weakness is needed, right? h4, yeah. Even if it's not straightforward perpetual, anyway, queen f2 all the time attacking one of the pawns. Oh wait, queen f2 though? I know. No, I thought about, giving a couple of checks taking h5, but there is always the knight hanging on c1 or e2 or whatever it is. Yeah, maybe it's just not enough resources. And what's that on Aronian's clock? Is it 49?
49 seconds, I think.
Seconds or minutes?
No, it might be seconds, because there is 0.
0:49.
0 minutes 49 seconds.
Really?
Yeah, so
otherwise it would be...
Yeah, maybe now we'll see some tricks from Jan, because of the time trouble that Levon fell into.
Oh wait, and does he need tricks, if we think of it? Does he really need tricks? I mean, maybe we are missing something sort of simpler thing. Knight e2 will guard g3. By the way, yeah.
But I did to h4 if it changes anything.
And kind of how do you make progress, right? Yeah. So black is
maybe I have something like f5. Okay, I'll also queen e5 check, but we'll see if if it is really good, because I mean we can show it like on the
No,
board.
we cannot currently because yeah, we have full screen image of the players. Yeah, Aronian is really low on time, but it's turn for Jan Nepomniachtchi to take his time to find.
Yeah, Levon looks
Yeah, it doesn't
upset. Yeah, he looks like.
doesn't look like he's confident. Yeah.
Of
But
course,
it
you
is
may
a
not
chance,
become.
yeah, it is a chance. Anyway, h5 to go h4 to get there. Oh wait, 92. What am I saying? 92 back to d2 and
Oh, h4 is
h4 is played. Okay. h4 is played and
Wow.
Jan is
so quickly.
leaving the.
Yeah, maybe the idea that after 92 I still can play queen d2, right?
Kind of.
But maybe I have some like, yeah, knight c3 is not improving probably because of queen c2.
Tricky. Yeah. So, by the way, the fact that Nepo stood from the game, you know, left it, it kind of gives, you know, some additional pressure on the opponent. Yeah. Look, your opponent is not there. You're on 7 seconds, 6, 5. Time to make a move. Queen e7.
Wow.
Okay, so this attacks h4, keeps a3 protected.
You know, like queen e7.
But it's a move backward, and this is something, you know.
Like, you know, like at least we can calculate knight d3, because after queen h4, king g1 there is no check, and our knight is moving straight forward on the e5 square. Like, I don't, I mean, insist on this proposal, but
He's only gonna take. Wait, and what happens if I go check and then check, trying to take h5?
yeah, but there is something like g6 everywhere, no?
G6.
Okay, or maybe it's a good way to provoke to black to change the pawn structure, and then in some positions g6 can be a target.
Yeah, so the point was like to give couple of checks if possible, to take on h5, so that I'm fine with giving the knight for a3 pawn, right? And
Yeah.
the winning
And
3
on
versus 1, yeah.
it
3 versus 1 on 1 swing.
might be winning.
I think
Because
should be.
we do
because
remember that's like
two connected passers are not
it's-
winning,
it's
yeah?
draw.
That we know, but nobody, I believe nobody knows how to make this draw. I mean, strangely enough, I still believe like if the players are playing, I do know, yeah, we are referring to the position with, say, white having h and g pawn, black has no pawns, sides have queens each. Yeah, so it was one of the most shocking news from, you know, when they've created those table bases, so-called table bases. The game is studied from backward as well. So we all know how to mate with queen, how to mate with rook, so on and so on. So more and more information is accumulated. So now we know like all the positions with 6 pieces on the board. So those are exactly 6 pieces. So 1 king each, 1 queen each, 2 extra pawns for white. It turns out computer showed it that it is a draw, which seemed unbelievable, like 2 connected passed pawns. Yeah, so we do know this information, that in case this somehow happens, it will be a theoretical draw, but I don't bet on someone holding this draw, especially against computer, of course. Right, so queen to e7 causes Aronian to see. Well, and finally we got access to our analysis board, so let's show something.
So what
So
do we start
my
with?
idea was to give
Check.
2 checks. Yeah, if we can check it quickly. Now looks like g6 is practically forced, right? Because if you go
No, but
what
there
else
is
can
something
you
like
do?
maybe king g8. The idea that
g8, so that if I
I know
take
you take
Yeah,
queen
that
e3 and there
was
is
the-
queen d5 something, and queen c4, and we control everything. So I'll just show it on the board. If queen e3, we can just make a simple check, and everything is well defended after.
Yeah, queen c4, and we are back
Well-
to the same
well-
setup. It's just that black h pawn has gone.
Well defended, well cooked.
Right, so check there, check on f5, king to no, not
G6,
king,
yeah.
but g6, yeah, and then
Maybe queen g5.
queen
with a
g5, yeah, that
Yeah, but-
was, and then f5 practically to any move. And in this case, I find it problematic to play f5.
Yeah, but even there, maybe I can play just a2. Sorry, yeah.
93, a2, 95, queen g7, and I regret that I went for an attack.
Maybe there is still something like no, f5 is not queen e5. Yeah, in the end. Yeah, so
Maybe it's still problematic to make progress. You put the knight on a2 and black is just...
okay. So h4, queen e7 is played.
Yes,
And Jan gave a
has
check.
gave a check. Yeah, he's given a check on c8, king h7. Now he is thinking what to do next. There is always an option to try to play it slow, like to give a check from... yeah, there is no need to give a check from c2. Just, I mean, to play g3.
Yeah, like g3. Is it a...
To play g3, then
is
to...
it forced by white? I mean, like, you never like to play g3 in this kind of positions, I think, because it gives some chances for black to
yeah,
make a perpetual.
once again, yeah, it obviously increases chances for the perpetual. Not sure. Not
Maybe
sure
there's
at
something
all.
like this one.
Queen to a7
Yeah, but
immediately.
queen c2 back and like back and forth.
So, till that moment, what I do understand about this position that black is no longer planning to force matters, right? There is no, I mean, there is not enough force to push the pawn
Yeah.
forward. So he's trying to claim, let's say, that you can't improve the situation.
Yes.
I have one annoying factor, which is the pawn on a3. You cannot take it. You are supposed to block it, so your knight is tied to block this pawn, and your king is vulnerable enough so that if you're going after the a3 pawn, I'll perpetualize you. A check and g6. Yeah, so the check was played, g6 was played. That's on the board. Queen to h3.
Wow.
So queen to
unusual.
h3.
And if queen c5, for example, there will be some check.
Queen c5. Knight and knight a2 is still possible, right?
Knight a2, right?
Yeah, just controlling the square. Yeah, I suspect. I mean, he wants to keep the knight as the stopper for this pawn, and he wants to play f5 under some favorable circumstances to weaken the king side, to, well, possibly to take the pawn, so to create some sort of some threatening factor of his own, like
But you know, there is another opportunity to play queen e1 there.
queen e1 here.
The idea is that we can't take on a3.
Yeah, a3 cannot be taken because there is still a
There,
perpetual
and-
check
and
on
F4,
h4 and everything.
Yeah, but Levon has played queen f7.
Queen to f7.
Okay, it's quite difficult to calculate queen e1 while you're in time trouble, because
Oh wait,
it may be a sudden death.
but it's wait, queen f7. It's gonna finish the game, I believe. Not sure with what result, but it will finish the game.
Very
Because
soon,
I mean, he's threatening a2, so it's like the question is, do you take on a3 right now? After which he takes on f4 with a check, and maybe he just
But you know, like,
made sure.
there is something like, yeah, we can't play f5 because of queen c7.
Queen g3.
Queen
Even
e3.
there, it's. For some reason, I believe it's a draw in this case, right? f5. I mean, it's hard to say. But first,
But
what
you know, like,
happens if he takes?
after queen e3? So,
Yeah.
I mean, you
Check.
take.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I have to play king g1 probably. Otherwise, it is a perpetual.
Yeah, g3 is a perpetual. And then you take the pawn. I mean,
Maybe you
you,
can start
you,
with
you give
this,
few
or-
checks. Yeah, you give few checks, or maybe more than few checks. You give check from f4 because still white has to move the king. And then you give... You can actually try to give check from e4. But even if you just take the pawn on h4, it's once again, it's like limited material. It's...
Yeah, but not sure about the valuation. I think it may be winning for white. Because like even in like queen, knight against queen, there is a lot of positions where the weakest side has to
like
be
problematic,
very patient,
yeah. Yeah, right, but anyway, it looks like the best chance.
Yeah.
Looks like the best chance, because at some point it looked pawn down, very stable, right, for Aronian. So once again, we have to praise Aronian's ability to find counterplay, to find the best chance. So the moment when he sacrificed the bishop, I still find it to be a very nice decision.
At this point, Jan has more time.
Much more time.
Much more time, yeah.
Yeah, and if the game continues, let's say, in this material that we have on our analysis board, like knight pawn versus two pawns, right, with queens on the board, then of course the time will matter.
Yes.
Obviously, you don't care if it's a perpetual on the board. You don't care how many seconds you have. But if you're forced to continue, and it won't be no longer that easy, because in a way, in this position, black's in current position, which is on your camera view, black's ideas are limited. It's you are pushing your pawn and you're giving checks, taking pawns on the king side, right? But when, let's say, it transforms into something 2 versus 1 with extra knight, yeah, so it will require some precise decisions. By the way, we have another game. Let's see if Aronian also changed quite a bit. Aronian still being on seconds.
Just a little bit. Yeah, so the last time when we have been in this
so
game
check,
was like
Queen
just
h3. We had seen Queen h3.
Queen f7.
Queen f7, f5 indeed was played.
Yeah.
And Queen c7 was answered with Queen g3. And Jan Nepomniachtchi has won, it seems. Yeah. So, sacrificing the knight, but activating his own queen, creating his own passed pawns. And
Why
this proves to be...
Yeah, but why Aronian didn't
go back to g8.
Didn't go back to g8, right?
Well, I believe he will be asked this question by the press officer.
Maybe it doesn't make sense, but...
I don't know. Yeah, so, well, obviously there is a lot of stuff to discuss after such a long and complicated game.
But you know, the exact position has happened in the game later, like king e8, queen
so
e6.
Gave checks, checks, and
so maybe everything was under Nepomniachtchi's
so
control.
king g8, okay.
Queen e5.
Queen e5.
Oh, yeah. So if a2, we just make a check on 8.
Yeah.
Eat on a2. King f7, f6.
f6, queen c4, and then he gave a check. And queen c4 was the last blunder. So queen g7 check after queen g7
and
king f5, queen g5 check, and finally white wins. White exchanges the queens.
Yeah. So
and f7, a2, f8.
And the difference that
the king is not in front
in the
of
angle,
the pawns, so this is
easily winning.
All right, which makes Jan Nepomniachtchi obviously a huge favorite in this match. Levon Aronian, as well as Wesley Saw, as well as seemingly Shahryar Mamedyarov, will have to win with white in order to level the score. By the way, Mamedyarov's game is finished as well. So the first round, first day, game 1 of round 1 is finished completely. It's 3 results, which is, considering how solid the field is pretty high percentage, I would say. The stakes are high, the opponents are very tough, plus nobody wants to make mistakes because of this knockout format. So 3 decided games are pretty a lot, and then perhaps the most, I don't know, surprising was the loss of Shakhmamediyarov, of course, who played the.
So we have the final interview of this day. Jan Nepomniachtchi and Levon Aronian. Jan, you won this game, so please share your impressions on it.
Well, it was a very tough game for me because I managed to surprise a little bit Levon in the opening with some rare drawish line, but somehow black should be precise there, and since maybe Levon played the move I didn't see in the first computer lines, so perhaps it was maybe a little bit inaccurate. And okay, I think that black was in some trouble, so I took initiative after queen e2 rook d1, but in fact it was very close to equality, and even when I won a pawn it wasn't that much. And then after the this sacrifice, I don't think it was necessary, but I thought it's also a very good chance. And well, I think I saw some different ways to convert the extra piece, and I chose probably the worst one. And okay, in the end I just got lucky because well, I think already me and Levon were playing, not in the very optimal way.
Mm-hmm. Levon, where do you think you made a mistake? So in this game.
Yeah, I think my queen e6 move was imprecise because I wanted to clarify the things, but I underestimated that my position is a bit passive with the queen on c1. I was mainly counting that I can put my bishop on e4 and just wait, but the bishop is a bit unsafe there. And then I saw a plan for white, starting with c4 and queen e3, but I should probably have played it anyway. So yeah, it was a bad opening preparation and imprecise play at the decisive moment. I think mainly due to the lack of time.
Thank you very much. It was the last game, so we won't take you here any longer. Thank you and good luck tomorrow. Thank you.